All right. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's how we.
Whoa.
That's how you say hello in the Astro Belt. Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Anyways, thanks for everyone tuning in tonight, and a big whoa to you guys.
Whoa.
We're live tonight with some members of the club. We got our great DM Mark here. How you doing, Mark?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Ready to watch this episode, man. I am in love with it. So
it was a really good one.
It's amazing.
By the end of it, it felt good.
Yeah. And we got Josh here. What's up, Josh? How you doing?
You know, I'm doing not too bad. Not too bad.
How
Monday.
How those Eldritch Foundry minis going? We got our characters we picked out now.
Yeah.
So we'll have to.
I wish they had a Thri-kreen.
Yeah.
I'd have a thick General Zar going already, but
Okay.
they don't. They wanted to tease me.
Well, we'll have to talk with them when we get a hold of them. See what the timing is of a Thri-kreen. And we also have our wonderful art director Marina here. What's up, Marina?
Yo, how's it going?
Good. It's good hearing your voice.
Good to be here. Thanks.
Nice. Now you haven't watched last week's episode, right?
No,
Good.
I've held on to it because I know we're doing it behind the stream, so I wanted to watch it with you guys.
Well, I'm gonna get it going here because it's good, and I don't want to detract too much. But I'm gonna play it in 1.5 speed. But some scenes, and you guys let me know if there's scenes specific we're coming up to if you want to slow it down. Just say, hey DJ, run it back, and I'll put it back in full speed. So anyways, we're going to jump into it. This is Season 2, Episode 3 of our debut campaign, Echoes of the Astral Sea. This episode was brought to you by Eldritch Foundry. You can go to their website, their Instagram, check them out. They make the best minis. Josh has been up day and night working on minis for this new project coming up, and I can't wait to share them. They're going to be great. They're so cool. But go check them out.
Exciting.
Yes. Go check them out. Tell them Josh sent you by using DDC Live at checkout for 15% off. Show them some love. Show us some love. There is a link in the description on how to go to their website and start making all the fun minis I know everyone has. Anyways, this has been brought to us by Eldritch Foundry, so show them some love, and we're going to jump right into it. You guys got anything to say about the episode before I start it here?
No, it was a really good episode.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I didn't really want it to end, but it was good. All right. Well, let's jump into it then. And I got it shared in Discord too, if you guys wanna.
Oh, I'm already watching.
Nice.
Same.
Wow, that intro is quick.
It's almost like 1.5 times speed.
Yeah, I'm not used to it. Intro gets me every time. Love it.
Oh my gosh,
Whoa, who's that?
Today, I'm so excited to share some news with you.
Look at what he's wearing. That's so silly.
He looks really familiar. I'm not sure though.
I think I know that guy from somewhere.
Oh man, I wasn't really planning on doing this either till like 30 seconds before we went live, and I had this scene kind of ready, and I was just like, you know what? I'll just improv it and go. It can't be bad, right?
I mean, it helped. It helped too because Dayton was running just a touch late, so this bought him that little bit of extra time.
Yeah.
Coupon code at checkout and give us some love.
Wow, I hated my voice before it was at 1.5 speed.
Show for you guys. We're gonna get jumping into it here.
Does everyone else just hate their voice in recording, right?
Yes,
It's
100%.
genuinely the biggest challenge.
Yes.
For editing.
Oh man.
For someone who talks as much as I do, I hate the sound of my own voice.
Alex, your camera is missing, but that's okay. We're waiting on Dayton.
It's so funny, but that's okay.
Mark, thank you.
Yeah.
You look handsome as always.
Yeah, we're waiting on Dayton anyway.
I mean,
Yo, Luigi's gonna be hilarious.
yes.
Oh God.
How you doing today, Dan? Just the nick of a time.
Yeah, so this was a big episode for us because we were saying goodbye to one character and introducing a new one, which, if anyone's played D&D, those are the two most difficult things to do, is say goodbye to a character without like just
and making it feel natural.
yeah, and like not just kill him. I mean, any DM can kill a character, right? That's super easy, but to say goodbye to a character and like really feel like he's gone. It was really special. I think this whole scene, I was so nervous about when we were gonna get to it and how it was gonna be pulled off. Because I mean, for months we were talking on how we're gonna get Skarrak to leave, and how do we get his new character in. And
also with us we have Josh.
damn, did we? Well, we'll see.
And of course, as always, we have our Rootin' Tootin' Tin Man, played by Dayton.
Good evening,
See,
everyone. Dayton here, playing,
I always get the introductions wrong by the third one because I forget if I introduce the character or the person first.
Well, one thing we need to do is work on a. Oh, is
Oh yeah, when he came in.
we need to make a
Yes.
what the hell is it called?
Little script thing.
Scripts. Yeah, we need to make like cue cards and scripts for just the intro and outro,
Certainly see.
so we
And,
can
as Matt mentioned,
get a
we
little
have
more
the
formula.
Rocket
I've written a
Launcher
few for
They do things
or a few other projects,
We've been
but
messing a lot with their engine. They got some really cool options, including
yeah, we just need to get a script and cue cards.
About an hour ago.
Yeah.
Some of you guys work with
Yeah, I
me.
think if I could just
Saturday, I was up
actually
2 a.m. making characters last
fall
night.
into
My wife was
a
telling me to turn
natural
off the phone,
rhythm
go to
that
bed. I
early,
couldn't
it'd
stop.
be a
There
little
were so
easier.
many options.
Yeah.
I had like 3 characters going at once. I'd get a little burnout, move to the next one. It's awesome. Check it out.
There's always a
Yeah.
little bit of finagling of energy to start a session.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so jumping into it previously on Echoes
Like,
of the Astral Sea.
We all gotta
Party
rope back
sets
into
upon
it,
a
you
board
know?
in
Yeah.
Normandy, And we're attempting to clear it out so that way they could take it back to the Rocket Brawl and potentially sell it or salvage it or ideally benefit from it in some way, shape, or form. But they realized that this wasn't going to be as easy as they thought. They made their way through part of the Nautiloid, coming across a Surlon who was posing as one of the drug addicts or the people that were on the farmers that were on the Nautiloid here. And it turned into a Surlon, so they attacked it. They made quick work of it, leaving Velen coated in blood. They had also come across a voice that was reaching out to them from behind a sealed door. The party gleans that behind the sealed door of the Nautiloid was a Nathalga, a brain-eating aberration that seemed more interested in self-preservation than a contest. The party What's got you offered a deal giggling with over there, Hidden Matt? Druid
It's just
who
laughing at my
services-
dumb faces I keep making.
Oh.
Listening to the
Gestures.
door.
The ship, stumbling across the dumping ground of what had ever had been feeding. Velen doing his best to Isaac Clark. Narration going on in the Began double-checking background. that nothing in the world Matt's would in be there getting out to attack emoting. from behind. Much to his chagrin, there was some
Yes.
life in the confines of the Cadaverous. Several swarms of silent maggots emerged and began attacking and consuming the physical stats of the players as they fed. During the clash, another creature made itself known, Quaggoth, some beast-like creature nearly half dead but held aloft and moving on pure instinct. It stalked the hallway with sightless eyes, musculature bulging in an off gold as it turns on Skarrak. Finishing the maggots off swiftly,
Alex
the party
is
falls
funny
in,
too.
but not before it barfs the entirety of the contents of its stomach up on
I love by how like
painting him in
3/4 of the way through the
somewhat subtle
episode,
substance that makes him
Alex is
invincible
just pure blue.
coloring his fur glistening gold. Doing one final check of the below decks, Velen finds a vial of gold substance before they head back upstairs and confirm with the Nathalga, who refers to himself as Jasper Graves, that it may leave, but to be careful of the other ship patrolling. While they go back upstairs, Skarrak is gripped once again by some power that be, that is. And shows him
Alex always does that. Like, as soon as you say Skarrak, he like squints.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that me?
sprouting massive gold wings that
Wait a minute. That's my name.
It said that the brother that sought the smiling moon was a lie, and that he should seek out the dragon himself. Unsure what to make of this, Skarrak caught back up with the group. They climb to the deck, and Zar takes the helm, while Tin Man and Skarrak quickly hop off onto the Galatine, and get the ship hooked up to the Galatine, hoping to find some folk who might find it useful at Brawl. They continue their approach to Brawl and find themselves stuck in a line, Merc commenting that it seems that the Brawl guard force are doing inspections before the folk are allowed into Brawl proper. They watch as some of the ships are pulled aside or put up a resistance and are subdued immediately. Tin Man finds a hiding spot in a cargo bay of the Galatine, while Zar and Velen camp out on the towed Nautiloid. Skarrak takes post in the very front of the ship and makes like a tree, scaring one of the guards who is watching.
Leave.
Merc speaks at length with the bulky tiefling aboard, captain of this group it would seem, before leaving with a smile.
I was surprised you didn't
Minutes later, the Galatine
use
lifts
it.
up and finds a safe space to leave the Nautiloid.
But
with Kel,
also,
Fred, and Cricklet.
A little hanging fruit, you know?
Practically
Right.
the other Academy ship would eventually.
It shows.
Merc gives the party a suggestion to eventually stop by the Happy Beholder, run by an acquaintance of his named Large Luigi. With our first steps on pseudo,
Alex.
it's time
What?
for our party to get the lay of the land.
Mhm.
And we'll start with Skarrak.
Huh.
Right.
Skarrak, what are you doing in this moment as the Galatine?
Alright,
settles
I'm gonna go to one point. I'm gonna go to normal speed because this whole scene's awesome.
Really have much, but like the bag
Half
he
speed
carries,
so we can
and his
really
bag
feel
can hold. So,
Draws out for
probably
dramatic
he's
effect.
in the galley with Ryback probably. Actually, because which Ryback didn't come.
I wanted to
first.
surprise
He's
everyone
on the
with
academy
Willen's
ship.
response too.
Now Ryback is on the.
That was good.
A lot of this episode.
Honestly, it was the most
So yeah,
Valen
just kinda going
response I've
over
ever
things
seen.
with,
A lot of this
Ryback.
episode, I
But,
kept everyone in the dark
Also,
just so we could get their
after kinda
natural
coming down
responses.
from whatever Skyrock and Jess did. I'd like to ask Mert a couple of questions. Essentially, I wanted to ask Mert what he knows about
Music's
the
perfect.
Smiling Shadow and
Yeah, I had fun with this one.
like
Yeah.
that vision of a dragon. Like what because he doesn't. I don't know anything about dragons. Like what is it?
You find Mert standing just out of the way on the deck of the Galatine, watching everybody, his staff, work and offload things onto the docks. He pulls you off to the side where the sounds of the sort of the cacophony, the melody of working folk sort of drowns out towards the front of the Galatine. You asked about dragons. I know one out here, though plenty back on Toil. There's only one dragon I know about out here. That's Rataclax.
Ooh, Radiclax.
Dragon that basically runs this entire place.
Okay, I took a note on that. Look it, I wrote it down.
Well,
Are you proud?
Anyway,
I'm writing something.
I am.
I took a note.
Now,
Very good.
this
Inspiration.
Radiclax, does he have
It says Radicax.
gold wings?
It's funny because I was looking at the short form videos you put together,
Yeah.
and the subtitles. I don't think I've given anybody how the name is spelled, but the
Oh.
subtitles actually spell it better than I thought.
You can adjust the subtitles too, and I meant to go back and change them before downloading and posting, but I was so excited I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, because the subtitles spell it as Radokalax, and it's Ratttakalax.
Bob!
But I almost like Radoclax better.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
There's not Ratcax, because that's what I wrote down.
I'll take
Just
that into
khakis for
consideration,
rats.
Mert. Thanks,
Rat
again
and khaki.
for the ride. And
Considering the
kinda
way
gave
this
him the-
episode
the-
went, I wouldn't be surprised if
know.
that was an
over
actual
to,
idea you put down.
Ryback and the group.
This
And,
dragon made of rats? Must investigate.
Do I see Tin Man
Must
at all?
investigate.
Like just kind of off by. If I see Tin Man off by himself, I'm gonna head over towards Tin Man.
Is we
Probably
get that
be a
goodbye.
moment, yeah.
Yep.
I'd
The
say,
first of it anyway.
Yep.
Tin Man, you've been around.
It's really Zars and Scrax.
And I show him the letter and
Invitation to his
basically
crew.
Ask him,
Hmm.
Smiling Moon. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, we get a little bit of
Ian, have I heard of it?
I'll let you make a history check.
just a little bit of chat between Tin Man and Scarrock, which is really nice because it sort of you could see that they can talk candidly with each other.
Yeah.
They're amongst the rest of the crew. They're kind of a little apart,
Oh,
one by choice and one by circumstance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful way to start the night.
what?
Matt jinxed us by chanting dirty dice.
I should have. I'm sorry. I'm gonna throw that chat away forever.
Dirty dice.
Never again. Never again. I'm gonna do that thing.
Tin Man's gonna kind of furl his mustache insofar as he has one. The facsimile of a mustache. If I'm entirely honest with you, sounds like a tavern to me. But I ain't been out here in a hot minute. And, well, truth be told, establishments come and go all the time. I would recommend finding the first bar or tavern you can. They tend to know each other pretty well. They know who their friends are and who their
Little bit of
enemies
wisdom
are.
before the goodbye.
See
Mhm.
if you can
Love
find
it.
out more that way.
Well, thanks, Tin Man. Well, hey, I just want to say thank you again for all you've done, and
Music's
hope
perfect.
you
Yeah,
guys stay safe up there.
it was a good one.
And I'll drop you a line, and I just kind of like give him that nudge in the with my arm, you know, small. It's kind of say, take care of yourself and watch yourself.
Can I make an insight check to put 2 and 2 together that he's thinking this might be a parting of ways?
How obvious is it, Scarrock?
Extremely.
It's pretty obvious. Like, I mean, this is like throughout the trip we knew I was going, but he's Scarrock is from here. I will say, point out where Nico's shop is. I will let them know that hey, my friend Nico has a shop here on the Rocker Brawl, and
Mark, you're probably like, yeah, I got it.
I want somebody to look at.
Yeah. I'll get him there.
He'll be able to tell you.
I'm sitting there more like, oh, I forgot that Alex put that detail in there.
Oh,
he did own a shop.
Yeah, shoot, Nico did have a shop here. Crap.
Oh no.
Not quite what I had planned, but
A lot going on. You were kind of cast out tutorial space there, to realm space like I was, kind of out of the blue, and Lord knows a lot has changed since we've even been off that world, let alone.
He's relating their
these parts.
struggles.
And I know these parts ain't too familiar to you either. I just keep your head on your shoulders. Seems to me like you got a lot of outside forces pulling you this way and that. I'm not really the type to believe in fate or destiny, none of that. Quite frankly, if I did, then my only fate would be on an assembly line or somewhere worse. But you make me believe that maybe there's more to it than that. 'Cause I got a feeling that there's a lot of something, a lot of strings pulling you around.
Well,
but I still believe a man makes his own fate. So
nice music transition.
We'll see, Tin Man. The one time I had is what I guess you call freedom. That
Alex drawing this scene out just
your own fate.
One.
Yet here I am finding that
maybe one thing too many. He does very good on all his scenes, but a lot of times he'll extend it.
Golden dragon pulling me one way, telling
and
me
honestly,
to go home.
I kind of love it
because
like between Tin Man and Scarrock, like you can kind of see that relationship where Tin Man's like, yes, I've said this the same thing. I've dropped the wisdom. There's nothing else for me to say here. And Scarrock is like, so anyway.
I'm not good at goodbyes.
Yeah.
I get it.
I kind of love it.
It's like the opposite of like a Michigan exit where you just kind of deuce out.
Michigan goodbyes that are 2 hours long.
Maybe sooner or later we all gotta face the music. I hope we cross paths again.
I do as well, but I don't. It's not going back to face with. Hey, I reckon it's genuine. It's a genuine fear. That's my home. Something's going on at home. You got to go back.
I love that. I'm gonna repeat that too.
Really is. If Ragleaf can't,
because it's gonna show that Valen was listening the whole time.
Then
I like this.
Something happens at home. Gotta go back.
I was trying to wait for it to show up naturally. I'm sure one of these episodes.
I don't know, Tim, man.
The call to home is such a natural.
Now I don't.
Oh, the music.
I have freedom. I can choose, as you said. I go back. I didn't choose that. Something chose that for me.
And man's still kind of playing with the note in his pocket.
Maybe
there's something to be said for going back. Just to spit in the face of whoever it was who was calling you.
Well, Tim, man, I'll tell you this. You decide to go back, find me, and I'll make sure they get the message.
Kind of pat the back of his calves about as high up as my hand goes. Take care of yourself.
You too, and yeah, watch it out there. We'll see each other. And then I'll kind of just head over to Czar and basically just say, hey Czar, it was thanks again for everything, and I'll catch you around.
It's been an honor, Scarrock. I assure you, Valen's cooking isn't going to be nearly as good as yours.
I'll reach into my bag of colding and just pull out a leg of basically looks like a goat-like animal, and hand it to Czar. Look, I know Valen's
start twitching immediately.
As soon as he goes to grab it, I'm like, no, this is for later.
Another great music choice. It goes right into
tries to serve you nothing but vegetables,
what they say to each other.
Eat that.
You killed it this episode, Mark.
I'm gonna miss you, man.
Yes.
I'm crying.
Yeah.
Your protein.
And then finally,
before you go,
what's up?
If I ever start my own crew, I'll send you a letter.
I'd say you know where to find me, but find Verdanthan. Probably find me.
Can do.
I know I just told Tin Man I'm definitely not going home.
Captain?
Yeah, right.
Probably going home.
God, I'm gonna miss
Then
that.
I will when he says that.
Yeah, that was
I
a
will
really
look
powerful
directly
scene, though.
at Ryback and
salutes.
say, "Ain't nothing wrong with that, my friend."
Nice.
And give him and then give him like the hero handshake kind of thing, it's like, hey, I'm 100% a cook, but still doesn't mean I can't beat you up.
It was good.
And then finally,
Valen's actually not there.
Oh, you're not there?
Oh, you're not there?
All right.
Oh, you're not there.
Leave it open.
No,
Oh, you hate me?
Say it like
Oh, you hate me? I get it. It's fine.
Valen's not there. Scark will be kind of sad. Like, he'll be kind of dejected, and that because he genuinely wanted to say goodbye, and
And
kind of like
I didn't know
and
what I do later in the episode was gonna work, but as soon as he said he was a little upset, I'm like, the letter's gonna be perfect.
It's gonna hit, yeah.
He's a good guy.
Immediately started writing.
Take care of my
then.
friends.
I get the feeling he would never say it to your face, but I think he shares that sentiment.
I also think he enjoyed your cooking more than he'll ever admit.
Highest praise.
Yeah, well, hey. Been kind of thinking if I don't go back, maybe people of the belt might enjoy my cooking.
There's no maybe, Scarrock.
Start thinking on that. Maybe you still have a choice to make.
And then it's just kind of like the hobo sack. I'm gonna take my backpack and just kind of tie it to the end of my glaive and just kind of head into brawl with
Disappears
Ryback.
into the crowd, slowly, kind of just vaporizes. Don't you forget about me.
The rest of you watch, save for Valen, watch as Scarrock does disappear
I'm gonna speed her
into
up.
bodies. And you see, with his height, his glaive and his hobo bag in the sky sort of disappear into the distance.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
I think the goodbyes really struck home. Felt really organic and real.
Well, this may be
it was a good way to start the stream too.
Yeah.
It's about when I think he's moved far enough away. You'll notice I'm looking through my door to see when he leaves. And after I know he's gone, I'm gonna come out bringing all my luggage, which I have quite a bit of luggage. It's a lot to be an astral elf. And I'm sporting a new outfit to hit the town. It's a new mint green vest.
You mean Valen came with baggage?
At least Valen thinks that's what's gonna happen, right? Like in his head.
That perfect Spelljammer mix of fantasy and cyberpunk.
Yeah, I don't have my armor on.
Disco.
They're not gonna know me. I kind of flip up my collar and pull a bunch of boxes behind me as they're crashing into everything, and I'm like, "Did Scrock leave already? Oh man, I must have missed him."
Man just kind of looks over at Czar, like you can see what makes up his eyes rolling. He's just rolling his eyes.
You know, he was a good guy. I'm gonna really miss him. Yeah, you know, people have different fates and turn of heart. Do we have anyone left on the?
I still haven't figured out how multifaceted eyes would roll, but.
Yeah, just
hey,
missed.
Ryback,
Just missed him.
go ahead and give a friend here to help.
Thanks, big guy. There's a lot of them.
my own back.
I'm gonna let out.
I was like, no, Ryback went with Scarrock. Like that was the deal. Like we.
Oh yeah.
He's packing his stuff up. And
I like Czar's slight at Vlad.
The prospect of him carrying.
Hey, does anybody want to help me carry this? I'm sure Scarrock would have loved to.
And I'm like, looking down at my baggages, like, no. And
you hear a voice behind you. Perhaps I can help with that. As Tarto picks up some of the larger boxes and
scares me.
Sort of totes them like it's natural.
My dude, all right,
that jump.
I got some business to handle in town. I don't know what your plans are, but I think we're gonna meet up at a local tavern here. I heard. What's the plan here?
Yeah. Big Luigi's place, was it?
That it is. All right, I'm gonna head out here. I gotta go take care of some stuff. I'll meet you at Big Luigi's. Tarto, you got my bags, right?
Correct. We'll leave it at Large Luigi's.
I love how at 1.5 times speed you can really hear that enunciation of her name.
Tarto. Extra color.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys there. And then like walk backwards into the crowd, like
just tripping over people,
running into people. Oh man, like there's nothing sneaky and disappearing. My green vest, like
Trying to just one up Skrog's exit.
Looking around, trying to blend in.
Yeah.
She's gonna be fine, right?
Yeah, probably. Okay. If nothing else, I'm hoping Tardo will keep my girl.
Yeah, she doesn't have an act for that.
You got anywhere to be right now?
Nothing too pressing. I know I gotta stop by. This is where Tin Man throws Czar under the bus, starts acting all funny.
I think it's been a hot minute since either of us have been here.
Put you in the hot seat for the whole episode.
He really did, man. I wasn't ready.
Why don't we,
I'm so glad he did.
before we go jump
Because we were talking about it. We were like, yeah, you know, we're gonna maybe go around and investigate on the down low. And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm totally okay with that.
That's my hope.
And he comes out the gate calling me master, captain. And I was like, whoa. This is not what we talked about.
Just about everyone around here is wearing brown, gray, utilitarian clothes, and you can still see Valen walking in the distance, very, very clearly, with his very mint green vest.
Opposite direction.
As you sort of break free of the dock area, it opens up a little more into a small plaza where it seems to be a little more foot traffic, a little less work. You can see in a little square just off to the side there, there seems to be a little fountain, and around it is a group of halflings who notice you. There's an older lady sitting there on the fountain. Excuse me, and she points out at you, and you see one of the halflings get up and start running over. He seems to be carrying food. What do you do?
I actually lost my voice from this episode. From
Really?
like, yeah, the next day at work, I thought I was a little bit sick, and I went home and slept for like an hour because I lost my voice from like just the karaoke and then all the talking and stuff. I went to work the next day and I saw Josh and my voice was a little bit gone. I'm like, I don't know.
He goes, I think I lost my voice from last session.
I didn't know if I was sick or something, but like I went home for like 2 hours and took a nap and felt 1,000 times better.
Glances over at Tin Man.
You know who would really like this food?
Well, I'm glad that an experience was provided.
Here's me sending that shady child after Valen. I had no idea how to take that right away. I was like, I'm gonna get pilfered or something.
What I love, actually really like about all of this is that it's very indicative of how long it's been since y'all have actually been in a more civilized area.
Oh yeah, and how
dude.
And how we all kind of fade into what we think is the normal.
Yeah. Like the academy was civilized, but it was regimented.
Yeah.
Take the lead towards Madame Thera there.
Matt says, do we fall into the normal? I guess iridescent is normal for Valen.
It is, you know, a high roller
I didn't
elf.
realize elves came in bioluminescent.
A high roller celebrity, pseudo celebrity elf like myself can't. You know, I don't want to be seen. I gotta blend in. I gotta blend in, okay? I don't want to be seen.
We heard through a little counseling chasing after that red green dot in the distance. That maybe you could offer information?
Of course I can. What information would you like? I have the most wonderful Berzelberry cake.
Well, that is
Came up with that literally on top of my head. I'm like, oh, what do I say?
In the back of my head, I was thinking like, all you have to do is buy the cake, right?
Right.
As that's the payment, and I don't think. And then Czar kind of got the information and then didn't really pay. Right? He should have been like, see ya. Just take payment.
Bye.
Well, Maya has changed houses.
But, you know, that is.
I went into this session. I was like, I gotta make terrible jokes.
When you get to the darker area.
No, I think it's kind of more of Czar's character. Like, yeah, you gave me the information, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna rip you off. We're cut from the same cloth, you know, like that type of vibe
Czar's
between
a
them.
pirate, but he's
Silver or information.
he's a man with a reputation to uphold.
Yeah.
And a code that he lives by.
I guess. Upholding reputations become rather difficult as of late.
In these circumstances, my dear Captain, I believe
Oh God.
keeping our information close to our chests is likely preferable. I do believe some silver would be appropriate in these proceedings.
I love how Dayton pulled out the clank from Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Really did. I'm glad I'm not the only person who thought that.
I love when he goes full like robot role play
Like-
where he gets in that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, I am his master.
It really shows when he's in like Tin Man mode and like auto no mode.
Years of,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maintaining two positions.
100%.
Requires.
Yeah.
Worry not, your
The
secret's safe
freaking
with me.
giggle.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful day.
You do. I see you.
That had me laughing when you said it. Have a wonderful day.
As we get a
I
little
never
distance
went back for
from
that cake
Czar and
recipe
Kurt,
either.
Tin Man's kind of like a bit of a hush frustration. Damn, you'll have to forgive me. It's been a while since I pulled that.
Master, where did that come from?
Good music
I wasn't
choice
trying to do
again.
that at all.
Come on, it shouldn't be too normal. I'm sure you've had plenty of gnomes chomping at your heels.
No. Well, I don't think I've ever owned or utilized an autonom servant.
Yeah, well, don't worry too much about it. You ain't missing nothing. All right then.
Yeah, Czar's not keen on servants.
Can't keep it open for any longer than a few seasons before she done get herself into trouble. Get it closed up. Needless to say, she opens it up next season every time, just different location. Question is, why does she keep getting closed down? Nosy sort. She knows all sorts of pies. She gets her fingers.
I love Maya. She's such a fun character.
Yeah.
Go jumping into any places with mint green parkas.
Tell me I can cake and pie on the ground.
Yes, my dear Captain, I do believe you can. Come on, we gotta go find us some rats.
Look for the rats.
Come on, we gotta go find us
That
some
was-
rats. That was
so
great.
Data.
You are walking
Yes,
through
my dear Captain,
the
I do
rocky
believe you
city,
can.
Right?
and owned by Prince Andrew. As you look around, the energy of the city seems to be pretty upbeat. It's surprisingly jovial, from what you've heard about the Rock of Grawl, especially considering there seems to be a bit of a kerfuffle in regards to the authority of this place at the moment. Not a lot of people are particularly happy with Andrew's leading style, we'll say. But all the same, you see bannerets and flyers and all kinds of frippery, almost like the city's in celebration.
Just
You
I fit right in.
Yeah, and it does seem that the general ostentatiousness of it does seem to take away from your own ostentatiousness.
You know, I knew something was up and how to fit in. Natural instinct.
You are searching
Natural
for
Natural
a place to
instinct.
worship.
Yeah, I'm looking for the
It's
Starfire
funnier when
Religion.
it's spun
It's
out.
a small, organized religion of the Astral Elves that a lot of us still partake in.
It makes us all seem a lot more
With
punchy.
the Rock of Religion, at least a house or two.
Sort of like an old folk religion.
Yeah.
I would like you to make a survival check for me. I'll have you make 2 of them at advantage. And how generally are you going about locating this?
Asking around, so that'd be a 17. Looking for the temple district, people of worship.
So, you know how,
telltale signs,
because of
spicy
your general
around here,
influence, Matt,
you know,
that
Yeah.
the
making my way.
Xerixians and Astral Elves as a whole have kind of a more Japanese tint.
Yeah.
Culturally.
Yeah.
The idea for these
Sort of one of those every
old
fortnight
men
kind of-
worshiping came directly from those tropes of like
So, with a natural 20,
Yes.
old Japanese men just sitting around fishing all day.
Fishing, drinking tea, talking about
Yeah.
like the news, vaguely connecting things that actually have a lot of like repercussions. Super wisdom, but yeah, but not involved with the day-to-day politics, but super aware.
Don't seem to be
Yeah.
finding one for the Starfire.
Sort of what's it called? Order of the White Orchid from Avatar.
That were there no place
Yeah, yeah.
to worship where the people were. As much of your oath is about unity and speaking and being around other people.
Yeah, this was a
As
great
snaps
scene.
into your mind that you find several older astral elves sitting in a circle in the very center of the temple district.
Ooh.
You recognize them first by their clothing, which is very simple, but also by their unique hairstyle. They wear the long dreads similar to you. As you look them over, you can see that they seem to be
The Astro Elves with a Japanese aesthetic, but all having dreadlocks, is a wild combo for like
that way it stays,
a cultural, like a culture, and it's awesome.
The temple area, or not the temple area, this square itself is
I
actually
love
it's like one of those cultural touchstone hairstyles that a lot of people wear.
Yeah,
kept on their vendors and such here that are covering it up. You find this place and you see as one of them an older male, an older man looks up to you and goes, "Oh, hello,
hello, brother,
child of the Starfire.
How's it going?"
Have a seat.
Mike,
I would like to share
after watching this the first time over the weekend,
hopefully
all the brothers, I felt like that. Who's that YouTuber plays Madden? Sketch or whatever. Hey, brother.
Yeah, Sketch. Yeah.
I haven't met with.
When I kept watching that.
What's up, brother?
Hey, brother. I mean, it fits because that's like kind of how it felt, but.
So I figured I'd talk to you guys.
Reaching out in a time of uncertainty shows strength within.
That's the type of thing I need.
I do really like this scene.
Yeah.
I'm sure, and I'll kind of take off my glasses. I'm sure you've heard of a lot of my tales of racing the hamsters in the Gale Force Prix. I'm probably not unknown to you as I kind of like stand in the light.
Yes, these tales have reached us, though none speak more to your character than your
This was a good turn.
As a father.
I pray that's true, brother. However, I come to a crossroads. I'm confused about the past, what happened, and what to do next. And I've had a revelation in my journey, and I can't bear it alone anymore.
Sound real Mormon too.
Are you aware of the calamity that took place with my family?
We heard, and it causes great pain to know one of many of our own were in such heartbreak.
Yeah, it was a tough time. But what I can't make sense of was leading up to it was how we left it and how angry we were at each other.
Ooh.
Before it all happened, Chucklebeard was on stage doing a great trick. He was pointing at people in the crowd, and they would disappear on stage, and then reappear on stage. And the second part of the trick, when we were at the heat of the fight, something went wrong, and that was the last time I had seen them alive. Was us fighting.
Ooh.
And I don't know.
Emotional baggage.
Recently.
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
I think it's outside my capabilities to save him.
I don't know if you caught it, Matt, but as you start explaining this, I let the music drop out.
Yeah.
And then when you start talking about how there was a fight, there's just these little tones that start to eke back in.
Yeah, you can feel the energy, the momentum change.
Desperate moment, and gave me hope. Told me to be strong. And she did directly.
She did speak to me directly, right?
As far as you're aware.
Okay. I couldn't remember exactly how it went down, if it was through a envoy in a dream, or that was Storm King's thunder with my sword. I couldn't remember which one.
No, you had this scene where you were you had gone into the vision and she hit you with the tidal wave.
Okay. I thought so.
Orion. But just as importantly, you get the name of your goddess here.
But what is that path? Stumbling around rocks with a bunch of bums?
Ooh.
That can't lead to it.
Shots fired.
That can't be the path.
Sometimes it is. Everyone's path is different for them. And well, some of us need strikeouts in their
I think the audience really likes secrets that everyone knows, but only one character is allowed to know. Right?
Yeah.
Right now,
those secrets everybody knows, but nobody talks
right
about.
now, me and the viewer have this secret about me thinking they're bums, and obviously everyone knows. I heard I said that, but me and the viewer have kind of like this little secret relationship. Connect, between each other now, where they kind of know something a little more then the players are allowed to lead on, which gives them a little more buy-in.
Where can it be found?
Yeah, like where's this? How's the other shoe gonna drop?
Yeah.
Similarly, just a couple episodes ago, we had Tin Man with Dove and the bullet that has Scarrock's name on it.
Yeah, exactly.
The only people that know about that are Dove and Tin Man.
Yeah, and those little secrets between a single player and the audience really give a lot of like buy-in into the characters early on when there isn't much to understand about them or much story other than at least I know something with them.
Everything happened, all the allegations.
Yeah, you're sharing that secret with
I
them.
can't help but think it was placed for me to find out there in the stars.
Yeah, revealed that I may have been cheating on the races.
Perhaps she is Matia Heliofera.
And also there was drugs on the farm? What the hell?
Some sort of sign. I know
That there were allegations.
Yeah.
We still don't know if that's true.
The Xerixians. Raticlax.
Radiclax. That's the old buzzard who's running this place around.
Buzzard.
Isn't it?
He does seem to have Prince Andrew's ear.
Can't be too hard to catch it if he caught it. Well, brothers, I appreciate your time. This has been great for me. Appreciate all the wisdom and the guidance. I think I know what I got to do now and who I got to do with it.
Before you
Nice music change.
Yeah, anything.
If I may offer you a sign of hope when next you need it.
Of course.
Yes,
So
great.
as he reaches up to his very simple clothing, he reaches into a pocket and he pulls out a gleaming silver dragon necklace or pendant of some
Necklace.
Dragon's cool.
sort. Take this, and it will grow as you do.
Thank you, brother.
Take good care.
And I'll take it, and as I take it, I'll like hold him in close, and I'll say, "I'll see you in the stars, brother." And then I'll
See
put
you
it
in the stars.
in my pocket, and just hit him with the same like fade into the crowd that I did the other crew. Like, and I'll kind of.
I'm such a dork.
What was that?
As he leans over to one of his other companions. He needs to do some growing.
He needs to do some growing.
Yeah, and I'll bend back in the cloud, holding the sample in my pocket or in my hand, and then return it to my pocket, and then start looking for the party bar district.
Did you make a note that you have that silver dragon pendant?
I did.
You make your way over to the darker part of town, the part where it doesn't seem the light quite shines. Quite
What?
The
You know what?
street lamps aren't quite.
I'm not gonna ask. I'll figure it out.
And it's not long before you spot a rat, sort of perched on the eaves of one of the buildings, sort of looking down at you curiously.
Kind of look up at that. you don't think she literally meant rats, right? I'll be honest. I thought it was like a metaphor.
At this point, I think she actually meant rats. I'm gonna try to telepathically talk to the rat. Hello, Fred.
Hello, Fred.
That was such an off-the-wall idea. I did not expect it to work.
And it looks off into a distance and then starts running that distance. It gets about 2 or 3 buildings down before it looks back to make sure you're following.
Yeah,
Just like look at Czar.
Dayton's
like,
face, like, that worked?
Talking. It's just like, are you psychically talking to that rat?
I didn't think that'd work. I'll be honest with you. I didn't think we'd make it this far. I guess we follow the rat.
All right, after the rat.
All right. So you watch as this rat, it makes sure that you're following, and then it takes off again once you catch up. It seems to wind you through a series of alleyways and back roads, and in one particular tight squeeze that's like butted up against the wall of a nicer neighborhood, and eventually leads you to a cellar door. And on the bottom left or bottom right corner of the cellar door, this wooden door with that wooden circle handle lifted up, is a little white rat paw print. The rat sits in front of the cellar door and looks at you expectantly, and then turns and skitters away.
Before it skitters away,
I'm so glad Valen didn't have to go there.
It'll come back, pick it up, and skitter away.
You probably would have burnt it down or reported it.
My unlikely lead seems to have worked.
I'll put this in my report.
Yeah, I'm gonna write this down and tell someone as soon as possible.
Cellar door open?
It is not, but it doesn't seem to be locked.
So then I'll open it.
All right. You lift the cellar door, and a waft of earthen scent hits you. You can see that leading down about 5 or 6 stairs are stone stairs that are very heavily worn, so they're slick to step on, and you've got to be very careful. This entire thing seems to be settled underneath what is a larger, almost tavern-like building, a 2-story with a double door front. You're not quite sure what it is, but it's a little run down this area. You can see next door is a series of buildings that have been burned down, and you take your steps down, and you see it's down a very small corridor. But at the end, you can see a few faint lights. As you continue forward, you step into what is about a 30 by 30 room. You can see a couple of scattered tables, and
I still love this bar, by the way. Greatest thing I've ever seen.
Moving around, particularly around
the Rock Rat was fun.
That seems to be very
Welcome to the Rock Rat.
With the name like the Rock Rat, I didn't know what I was expecting, but it definitely wasn't bad.
Oh man!
And I think we'll go to break there.
All right, guys, that was
Have a
great.
seat.
Great stuff. I'll
Keep
see you
your
in 5
mouth
minutes.
shut.
Make sure you mute. What's going on, guys? While we're out taking
Yes, another improv.
for tuning in, showing up, giving us some love.
Little-
We got some exciting new partners.
Little improv session here we all gonna watch.
Their website, eldritchfoundry.com. You can check them out on Instagram.
Legend himself.
I've been linking
Wait,
to
is
them.
that Valen?
Check it out.
That's Valen.
Use our code DDC Live for 15% off at your checkout. At least do that. If
Oh,
you
man.
start making your whole,
Even Valen thinks Eldritch Foundry is great.
Valen uses it all the time. It actually was the original fight between him and his family because
I've been doing it for 4 days.
he spent the family fortune on
every
pennies.
night. My wife is telling me, stop making characters. I was up to 2 a.m. yesterday. I should have been doing
I mean,
show prep.
with a deal like
getting ready for this,
15%
and I was
off
making
at
these
checkout.
for
Exactly.
a campaign in a series that's not even come
It's
out yet.
Kinda hard to
fantastic.
pass up.
Yeah, like you got to spend the entire family
Oh.
fortune.
Here's this. I'm gonna do adception right here. Hey,
Think
thanks
about
guys for tuning in. While you're watching my ad, I'm gonna tell you an ad about Eldritch Foundry. You can get 15% off.
I mean, what can I say? Use DDC Live at checkout.
15% off.
Help support us.
Link is in the doobly doo.
Coupon code, help support us. Get all those minis printed. Make them all. I know all of them. All you guys got like tons of characters in your head. Like, if you're like me, I know you got like 50, just ready to go. They need minis.
Ready to go.
You can't bring them to the table without minis. So check out
Those
Get
glasses
all
are
those
so
characters in,
silly.
Bring them to the table. You know, who cares?
I
if
love
it's
them so
a human
much.
I
fighter
do
with a big
too.
sword? Make 50 human fighters with a big sword. You print them off and you bring them out every time, and everyone will be like, "He's."
This
good
was my
because it
favorite
doesn't-
tangent.
Yeah, it might just be a pose difference. Who cares? It's a human fighter with a big sword. He's gonna run the table. Okay, go to Eldritch Foundry. Make 50 human fighters with a big sword. Bring them to your
50 human fighters with a big sword.
I gotta take a little break. We're gonna be right back with this next episode, so stay tuned. Or with this next part of the episode.
I like to believe it's 50 human fighters and they're all wielding a single big sword.
Yes. They all have to take an action to swing it.
Yeah.
Heave! Ho!
All right.
We're good.
Just takes out a whole city.
Welcome back. All right, with our 5-minute break out of the way, and my inability to speak today also out of the way. So you were led into the Rock Rat Czar and Tin Man. As you step in, you hear a call from Maya, the woman who runs it. She tells you to find a seat, sit down, and shut your mouth. You can see as there seems to be only one or two other
Shut
characters
your mouth.
that are
Sit
mostly
down and
slumped
shut
over
your
in
mouth.
corners, particularly seeming to be more interested in keeping to their own and finding their own moment of peace, as it were. That, however, is a little shaken as you realize there's a swarm of rats running around the floor, seeming to pick things up, returning tankards back to Maya herself, and otherwise serving. You can see at the head of them, there seems to be one rat that's wearing a little hat, like a little captain's hat, and he's got a little thing wrapped around his waist, which you notice is a little miniature saber.
I love this place.
You want to die.
I love this place.
You want him to absolutely have a panic attack at this place. All right. I see ya.
As you enter and Maya calls out to you, the small swarm of rats walks up to you, and you see as the one that they had on is sort of lifted up by his peers to be, well, for you, Tin Man, about waist height. Hello and welcome to the Rock Rat. I am Jenston. I am your server. And if you do anything bad, I'll hurt you. Please come this way.
I think he's serious.
Oh no, I 100% believe that. He's got a saber.
He's got a saber.
Yes, please come this way. I've got a seat picked out.
He's got a saber.
He takes you over to the only.
Josh, I have a
He's got a
saber in
sword,
my
he's
office. You
business.
better respect me.
The seats themselves seem to be made of ramshackle wood thrown together, and it strikes you as you sit down that this actually seems to be someone's wine cellar.
Ooh, nice music change.
And it was
again.
right there. I was doomed the rest of the session.
The wine cellar. You're like,
As soon as he said it was a wine cellar.
Vintages.
vintages. Here we go.
Looking over at the Czar.
I'll take a Marlowe.
Marlowe.
God, not the Marlowe.
And here we can see in real time Czar's downfall.
A place called Earth, specifically Italy.
We can see my downfall in real time. Every time Marlowe's set for the next hour.
Marlo could be a type of wine in the belt. I love it.
Yeah, Marlowe is a thing now.
And I like how Marlowe went from just a type of wine, to a drink itself, like it's a named drink.
You're right.
I know.
Okay, I'll try my best. We just moved in. We're not quite sure what all we have yet. He turns and scampers, jumps off the table. You sort of just sit in silence. Nothing happens as you hear the clinking of glasses and Maya cursing as she pulls down different wine bottles, looking at them. It's not Marlowe. That's not Ada.
Marlowe.
You just see them shattering on the wall near her. Eventually, she goes.
What was that dog movie? Like Life of Marley or something?
Marlowe.
Marley and me.
Marley and me, Marlowe and me.
God, stop!
You can watch as she loads up two wagons
Bob
and
Marlowe.
sets them down.
Bob Marlowe.
Marlowe.
Charging over to
It's
you,
just a picture of Czar with like Rasta dreads.
And by the time they get to the table, you can see many.
That's got to be like one of your undercover names coming up.
Bob Marlowe.
No. I'm using that.
You get your half full.
My name is
Bob
Robert
Marlowe.
It's General Czar. Oh, I don't know who this General Czar is. I'm Robert Marlowe.
Seems to go into a couple times. Like, you can see that she seems to be wearing just a series
it's
of
Bob Marlowe.
on top jackets on top of shirts. She's like 4 or 5 layers deep.
Just one rat carrying all the coats to the coat check.
You realize that she has a human face. It's a bit narrow and a little mousy. But she's got some very serious eyes that seem to stare and glare at you, like someone who's used to.
I'm sorry, but at this point, I'm just imagining a Muppet movie, just full of
So many Rizzos.
so many Rizzos.
God, I would love a Rizzo bar.
That's the back. That was the backup title for this. So many Rizzos.
So many Rizzos.
Rizzos.
Rizzo and Gonzo are definitely like my favorite duo.
On another, and finally sits down in front of you in.
If it wasn't for Fozzie, I'd agree.
Oh, Fozzie's so good.
She has a little bowler cap on.
I love Fozzie. I'm gonna have to watch some Muppets.
But you ain't from around here, I can tell. What brings you in?
Look over at Skarog for a minute, see if he's gonna say anything. Or yeah, sorry, Zar.
I'll notion to you.
Well, as a matter of fact,
No, not this time.
Can you continue?
Questions around these parts. Questions that most people don't like to answer.
I don't like people telling tales about me. Fewer or less the people that listen to them.
That's fair. Kind of adjusting my having a hard time keeping eye contact. She's just pointing right through me. No, and honestly, I don't think most people will, but that's why I thought it was worth a shot.
You're a snooth talker. Is that programmed in?
Seems to have been from day one.
Whoa.
Smooth talk.
All right, let's play a little game and keep us both honest, eh? For each question,
for this game either.
We'll front.
What's that?
I said I really wasn't that ready for this game either.
It's almost like that's the intention.
Sound fair?
I look up over at Zar. Sounds fair to me.
Sounds fair to me.
And before you have a chance to finish saying,
Ooh, another music transition. Great. Mark, you killed this episode. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna. In a few, well, it's a little too early for the Webby Awards, but this is definitely going to be one I'm going to keep in my pocket to put.
We are. I'm just going to cut him off before you can finish that statement.
Okay.
We are representatives of the Astral Academy. As you may know, they've recently been trying to open up a forward annex here in the belt.
We're not in the belt. We're only in Brawl. But I understand your point. All right, take your copper.
Maya's so nitpicky.
Take the copper.
Your turn.
Give a quick little, and then place the 2 copper back down. How's the old Cannon Master doing? Arnott.
Well, best I heard, he's not too fond of the crown. Anger's been looking to buy up a lot of the munitions, and who makes better than the gift? But she refuses to sell to him and his. She runs a tight business. Something about integrity. Anything more than that is the dust of the stars, as it is.
This is a great scene.
Since you put down 4 copper, hand
So much
over to Zar.
story development happened.
Not over.
I'll place 2 copper. do you? So much of Dayton putting me on the spot.
Mutual benefits.
Dayton and Mark just driving the whole story for this few minutes, and Czar just like, hey, when do you do that rat?
Also, you know, it's just bringing them.
There it is.
Cool.
There it is. That's the one. Huh.
But shh, don't tell. She tentatively reaches for the copper to see if those were acceptable answers. And after a moment, she takes it. She drops 2 more down. A lot of new people coming into Brawl lately. Do you know any arsonists?
Look at me writing my letter.
Kind of looks over at Czar.
So focused. I didn't really catch much of this scene.
We've been out in Realm Space for quite some time.
I'm just muted, typing away.
I might know of an arsonist. I can't really.
This is me saying it in my head over and over.
A name?
Yours?
Oh my god, it's so obvious.
I would use the term friend lightly.
You like tune back in for half a second, then you
no, and then I'm repeating it in my head.
Be forthcoming with a name. She pulls the copper. Your turn.
To be honest, I don't remember their names.
Like, I'm smiling a little bit. Like, does it sound good?
Lay it out. Dice don't lie.
I was looking for my old crew member names.
So we still have 2 of the copper that had come to our side of the field. So
and you're welcome to put forth your own.
Of course, but I'm gonna keep using what's in play if I can get away with it.
Of course. Yeah.
Gonna put
Trying to tune in to figure out what the heck's going on in case I gotta play.
What's Cataphract been up to lately?
Go back at it.
There's a question. See, she
Just locked back in.
She's pulling out notebooks. She tucks one away, pulls out another, flips through it. Okay.
Wow, I didn't realize I was that.
Interested in Daddy?
Play that. I'm gonna pull out 2 more.
I think I
cards.
froze.
While you're at it, anything on Fapplebrand?
Flips through a couple pages. Well, from what I could tell, Fapplebrand's been attempting to get out of the mining game. That's the good news. Bad news, it seems. That's the clincher. Seems they're getting into mercantile bed with Radiclax. And she'll reach forward, push the 2 coppers back to you. I'll tell you that one for free. Because that is not good for any of us.
And I kind of nods in agreement. Czar can just see sort of like into the visual sort of exhaustion come across his face.
She takes the 2 copper, pauses a moment, puts it back. Do you know anything about the parade or these celebrations that are going on?
Gotta look over at Czar. I noticed there's an awful lot coming in lately.
An honest
I
answer.
know anything too relevant about it, at least.
A trick question and an honest answer. Take your copper.
Gonna kind of pat the copper in place. Trick question. Well, what can you tell us about the parades then?
Well, what I could tell you is that, again, it's not good for any of us. It seems that Radiclax has set his sights on the Rock of Brawl and seeks to fold it into his portfolio. And it seems that Prince Andrew is none too worried about this adjustment.
I don't like that. That's too many people sleeping in the same bed.
A good way to spread disease, unless you're clean, like a rat.
I love that. I was like, what? Right. Well, your copper?
You have anything else to ask?
Look over up at Czar. What can you tell us about the Dread Captain Czar?
Well, from what I hear, he's on Vilcath's employee at Current.
Question to come up too, but I didn't want Czar to be the one who asked it.
The good ones, as it were. He'd help where he needed, but of course, like any pirate, he took his money. We'd expect no less. But he didn't expect more. Yes,
like, I wanted to poke for questions about Czar and my old crew.
Piracy is drying up. Well,
you didn't want to make it as obvious it was you.
Yes.
The current Dread Captains are.
Turns out that was an unfounded worry.
Yes.
When the money goes, he follows, it seems.
But that doesn't matter now. I've got a sweet new mustache. Nobody will ever recognize me again.
People's basements and sell their alcohol.
You gotta get a top hat. Oh, what was that millipede from James and the Giant Peach? Didn't he wear a top hat?
Centipede.
Did he have a mustache? I don't think he had a mustache, but I think he wore a top hat. Honestly, you're kind of just him.
Big city.
At the wave of a hand.
Yes.
By his keeper.
Getting a top hat, I need a monocle to go with it.
And we don't know.
I gotta watch that movie with Hero. That's a great one.
It's such a beautiful movie.
Is it? It's Tim Burton, isn't it?
What can you tell us about his keeper?
Yeah.
Yep. In fact,
Thought so.
Jack Skellington shows up in it.
Really?
Yep.
He started the roads that radicalized.
I may know that, or I'm just making a memory of now. It's been so long I've seen it.
Wealthy man in the room, as it were. And he's none too happy with this.
God, I love that. I read the book like 6 times.
But Radiclax says that he has claim over it because he's always been here. He created the belt. Whether you decide that's true or not.
Normal talk for a dragon.
She takes the 2 copper and then slides it back. Are you familiar with a tall, dour-looking minotaur? Seems perpetually tired.
Hello.
Absolutes. Extremely
Sup,
vague.
nerd?
Whoa, what's up, Dayton?
That's right.
Should I pop in and see what you guys are doing?
Oh, we're watching last week's episode.
We're right at the rock
No, this
rat.
one's got a lighter.
Yeah.
And is surprisingly.
Watching me and Josh's flawless execution.
Yep.
Can you throw me right under the bus?
Think on your toes, man. Think on your toes.
What's going on down
Yeah.
there? I'll come up.
You need to do it more often, Dayton. Put him as the face as much as you can.
All right, understood. Throw more people under more buses.
Josh's quick decision making is hilarious.
To self-reinforce Zara's exoskeleton to be a speed bump.
Yes, a small autonym and clearly General Zar.
Clearly, General Zar.
And clearly General Zar. Great, so I was hiding everything for no reason.
Especially when your face is plastered everywhere.
Man just kind of shrugs at him. I don't mean to sound rude, but Shotgun all look the same to me.
I can change color.
We are watching it at 1.5 speed, Dayton, if you're wondering.
Yeah, I'm seeing this.
Yeah, so we can kind
I
of.
didn't think my voice was that high pitched. I know I'm a fast talker, but not that bad. Come on, guys.
When we started the episode, we all said how much we hate our voices, but even more at sped up speed.
A group of rats sort of crawl up the pancakes.
It's the mustache.
And deposit a fake mustache on the table.
It's all rats.
A rat.
It's
A rat stash.
Whole bar is rats.
It's a rat stash.
Where
Okay.
would it be?
It's just rats. It's all rats all the way down.
They're in the walls. They're in the walls.
Yeah, judging aesthetically above where you would consume.
Rats are stored in the walls.
They are the walls.
Fair enough.
Have you any more questions?
Does mustache make me look fat?
I believe
You see,
that'll
she
settle most things.
considers her words very carefully.
So introspective.
It looks dashing. And you believe her.
See?
And you
Don't
believe
you
her.
believe her?
Believe
Where
her.
did General Zar go? Where did he go?
That's a good one.
Given that the game was fun and we kind of went back and forth, but effectively she didn't really actually get much out of us. I'm gonna dig into my pocket and kind of flicker a silver piece. You ever hear of a gentleman out in the belt named Orvis?
Now that is a name I haven't heard in a while. He flips through a couple more notebooks and finally finds one. Yes,
He's
died a couple years ago.
That's what I heard. You know anything about that?
Looks like your average garden variety attacked by raiders.
Did you mean to do a half Obi-Wan quote there?
So it was bound to happen.
Because that's why I got so excited. Because when I heard you start saying, "Now that's a name I haven't heard," I was like, "Oh my god, he's gonna do it! He's gonna do the Obi-Wan thing!" And then immediately did it. I was like, "Oh."
There's a man wearing my face.
Yeah.
I guess you could say I am too.
See, you're learning. You're learning. There are no coincidences. Then if that is all, enjoy your drink and be on your way.
So inviting.
And then turn
Finish your drink and get the hell out of here.
How long are you going to stay here?
I mean, can't argue.
Not draw any, attention and then just kind of work our way out.
On your
I
way
will
out,
finish my Marlowe though.
Don't even start with the Marlowe.
roll a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
So this time it's all said and done.
The man
my
just
fur is gonna be like
could
steak
not
ice,
finish
like
his drink.
fur.
Yes.
Roll a con save for me, please.
I can absolutely do that.
Eat it.
It comes
Eat
in and
it,
just
eat it.
throws my beer across the bar, gets us all in
you got a couple
trouble.
Marlowe, not that terrible. You're used to holding your liquor. You're all right.
Okay, cool.
You definitely feel it sit a little heavy. You're not convinced it was actually Marlowe or whatever that actually is.
I will
But-
assure you, Tin Man, that was probably the worst Marlowe I think I've ever had.
So this is a vault.
I can assure you.
Alcohol. It's a type of drink.
It's canon how they're terrible.
At this point, nobody knows. It's just the fabled Marlowe. Everybody's on this the quest party.
I told you, it was the first thing I thought of. I panicked.
Don't you mean Merlot?
No.
As you make your way back inside, you can see that.
Don't you mean Merlot?
No.
Marlowe.
There's not a whole lot of people aside from folks sitting in cloaks or in their, in their work clothes.
Whatever you think it is, you're wrong.
Sorry, guys. My class came out a little bit in this episode.
You recall that Valen mentioned that you would be meeting up at the Happy Beholder once you were done with your business. Do you have any other business?
Not pressing.
Got a couple places I want to be, but I think I'm going to wait until I have a little more time to make that happen.
Back up. All right. So you make your way to the Happy Beholder. You have to make your way through Gift Town first, which is harrowing and fascinating in and of itself. The entire place smells of cigar smoke and black powder, and you're not entirely sure how they managed to keep that localized, but they do. You get many hearty welcome.
My little cackle gale.
Gun shops of almost every stripe and type. There's so much industry happening here. It gets a little overwhelming. The sense of the leathering.
You know what we might want to do, Mark, is when we introduce like a new setting or scene, maybe add some, I don't know, this might sound or look corny, but maybe some sound effects. I don't know.
Leave her in action. I'm going to stop in there later.
I know that a lot of DMs like use soundboards.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some try to go so far as to like make cool sword noises when you land an attack, but really it can be just as basic as having horses and people in the background on top of your music.
Yeah.
There's a couple of services out there that literally do just that, literally just D&D soundboards.
Yeah.
But as you arrive at the Happy Beholder, you don't hear Valen's voice. You hear someone who sounds a lot like Valen, and then you realize, he's not wearing that green vest. It's not.
Yeah, Gavin had a really cool flip.
Like
that one?
Busy and very.
That's the one.
There's difficult to really pin down, but it is one of people enjoying their time. As you sort of push your way through the crowd, who seem to be just standing out front talking over drinks and stuff like that, you manage to get into the Happy Beholder. It's very well lit. It's got a very open.
Let's see how this voice is going to come across in one.
Yes.
This is to facilitate.
I can tell you, it's not going to be as good as you want.
A full bore beholder.
Because I'm so silly in 1.5.
You see, he walks over and he pours someone a drink. They talk for a second. His sort of tendrils move around as if he's speaking with his hands. And eventually he looks up. Well, hello there. Come on in. Got a seat over here for you.
Large Luigi.
Tony.
Giving me real Tony vibes.
Am I to assume that all of the Beholder family are just Italian in this universe? Is that just how this
Yeah, now.
You can assume.
That's very good, Marlo.
You'll know where to find that, Marlo.
It's canon.
The entire country of France is going to ban our stream. Anyway, the moment we walk in and see this, so I'm going to see poor Tin Man just like freeze up. He'd be like, oh, Tony was one thing, but this is another.
You gotta get that water in.
You don't like Beholder?
Aberrations make my bolts crawl.
Bolts crawls.
I'd say some of my best friends were Beholders, but that would be a lie.
Right.
It's for the best, really. All right, after you.
Make my bolts shake loose.
That will I'll lead us to go sit down where the ever-friendly Luigi and Ocean do.
As you go to head over to your table, large Luigi actually beats you there, and he just sort of bumps in front of you. Hold on just a second, I gotta clean this up a little bit. And one of his tendril comes out, he points, and he disintegrates all the trash on the table.
Oh my god.
All right, have a seat. You got more
I'll be real with you. About 50% of my robot euphemisms are entirely pulled from like G1 Transformers.
we were commending you earlier when you go robot mode with the halflings. How you pulled out your inner Clank.
And how about you, Tin One?
Ratchet and Clank.
I'll have what he's having.
I'll be honest, Clank is a little bit of the inspiration for Tin Man. Just a little bit.
Really?
Love
I can
playing.
see it.
Before I make it to
Yeah, I
the
can see that
party, I need to stop at the.
We get a secret point that we guessed your large inspiration then.
Do they have like a post?
Really?
That I could drop?
Yeah,
We can
I don't
just
know what
like
a point
message
is,
it
but
out,
we
this is important.
found the secret inspiration.
Get it to the right people.
There are posts.
Fair enough.
That you
Fair enough. Can't even argue.
If you were looking to set up, it takes you
Sorry.
2 silver and basically a membership of sorts to keep that
That's
open,
awesome.
and you can have a secure package sent to whoever you want.
I just want to speak to that person, and I want to make sure he delivers this message. And I'm going to start writing out a message to Skrak.
Yes,
and
here
it's
we
going
go.
to read, Skrak, I've been many things. Foolish, distant, haunted, but never
You want to put this down to normal
Showed me
speed?
kindness when I had none.
Yeah.
And I repaid it with cold silence. And before
Dude,
I make it to the party,
I
need to
thought
stop
this
at
was
the
planned
actual
like
mail.
days in advance, the way you pulled this out.
I gotta write a letter real quick.
You missed it. You could see me literally watching it for 10 minutes because like you just see me go like just stare right in the corner as I'm writing it. I knew I was gonna write the letter, but
there are PO boxes.
The content.
Set up.
yeah,
I gotta say, I really thought it was like something you've been planning in advance.
I knew I was
It
gonna
was
write the
too
letter,
perfect for on the spot.
and I had a few things typed up, and like I enhanced it with a little bit of ChatGPT because like I knew what I wanted, and just kept rolling with it.
And I want to make sure he delivers this message. And I'm gonna start.
Computer, provide for me a sappy parting letter.
Scrock. I've been many things: foolish, distant, haunted, but never ungrateful. You showed me kindness when I had none to offer back, and I repaid it with cold silence in the armor I wear too tightly. I can't undo what's past, but I can name it. I was wrong. And I hope if our paths cross again, it's near your fire, with the scent of something good in the air and a second chance between us. You were a better friend than I was ready for. I'd like to change that, Valen. And I'll like fold it up.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, can you?
So good.
Than I was ready for, and I'd like to change that.
Can you get this to him in like a week?
We absolutely can do delayed mail. Yes, absolutely.
Give it like a week and then act like it got lost, so it seems like I sent it right away.
Understood.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like to think at the bottom, Valen wrote, P.S. Your cooking is, and then scribbled it out real quick.
It's just the page is torn off.
Yeah, the whole letter. I knew at some point driving home and I was kind of building the scenes in my head that I was not going to be at the goodbye, and I was actually going to do a goodbye letter, but I didn't know what was really going to be in the letter. And then I kind of like typed out how the things I wanted to say, but it didn't sound elf-like. It sounded like a guy living in Detroit who just wanted to hit up his friend on Instagram DM. So I put that in,
Like
and
normal.
I was like, hey, make this sound like an elf, right? And then it did like a elf version for me. And I then was like, okay, this is how you sound like an elf for writing. And I was able to kind of jump in there and edit it a little bit.
You got a party.
What's up, Super Fox? Thanks for tuning in.
Looking for someone.
We're just doing a review
Computer,
of
provide
last
me
week's.
a quick rundown of how to sound like Tolkien.
Exactly. Oh, thanks for the follow, Super Fox. We're just watching. I just finished the final stat block for my campaign. It was the secret final boss, and oh boy, even I am scared about what may happen to my party of 5 level 17s. Yo, you got a fight on your hands, Super Fox. Good luck. We're actually just reviewing last week's episode of our campaign, Echoes of the Astral Sea. So you can check it out on our YouTube. We stream every other Monday. It's live, and we have a lot of the club here. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And thanks for the follow. Legend.
Yeah.
As you go to chuck the glass at the ground,
The
you
more
watch
the
as it
merrier.
suddenly stops, suspended in air.
We almost know what we're doing.
Now, no references in
May I show you the stat block so you can tell me what you think about him? Who knows? Maybe you show it to your DM and you may get inspiration for it. Of course. Please share. Bring it in. He's here. Our DM is in the chat right now. He's watching. He can let you know. We have 2 amazing DMs here. Dayton, Tin Man is also one of the best I've ever played with.
I'm passable.
Oh, okay. Tell that to my Minotaur with gold horns that are diamond tipped now. How is that for passable?
I'll be cool.
He said the telekinetic.
Lesson 1 of being DM: find stupid stuff for your players to spend money on.
All right, here. He just sent me a Google Drive. Let's see here.
After a few minutes.
Okay, you guys, you want me to pause the video so you guys can? Oh, can you see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right, I'm gonna pause the video. We'll do a little group review of Magus, Ultimate Dark Lord. You wish to fight me then? The bitter black wind begins to howl. Ooh, okay.
Ooh.
Right off the rip.
That there, my friend, is what I like to call a Chrono Trigger reference.
Oh, is it? Good call out. I love the artwork. Magnus looks super like brawny and intimidating. It's an optional boss. Nice.
Got that Vegeta going.
Yes. I love the background too. It's almost like a
Keep
blood
Toriyama.
moon. Very cool. Okay. Armor class 21, arcane armor plus dexterity. Hit points 500. He is gonna. You're going up against what? 5 level 17s. Okay. Let's see. Trait. Strength 12, dexterity 10, constitution 26. Good lord. Intelligence 24, wisdom 20, charisma 18. This guy's a slugger.
Okay, so we're definitely more of a caster. That makes sense.
Yep. His passive is what makes him dangerous. Okay. Oh yes, passive perception 22, true sight 120. Trait. Okay. Legendary Archmage. Magus casts all his spells without material components. His spells ignore resistance to magic. Spell save DC is 21.
Rude.
Ooh, very rude.
Rude.
All enemies within 30 feet have disadvantage on saving throws against fear and charm. Obviously, I saw his picture. I'm afraid. Mantle of Judgment, the passive ability.
Ooh.
At the start of combat, roll 1d10 to determine the active damage type that bypasses Magus' magical mantle. Magus becomes immune to all damage types except the one rolled. After each time he is successfully damaged by an attack or spell, roll 1d10 again to switch his vulnerability to a new type. If the result is the same as the current one, re-roll until a different type is selected. Then he has 1 through 10.
Now the question is, if you roll 10 twice, is he vulnerable to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, or is it random from that?
I think if rolling at 10, you'd be weak to all types of physical, it would switch to something else. Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually happened to be working on a particular dragon fight not too long ago, as my Storm Kings group can tell you. And Mark, I believe I told you how the one you guys fought actually ended up being a slimmed down version of a later boss that you guys will end up fighting. And a lot of this is actually pretty standard for exactly how you want to run a very high level caster. Making it difficult for players to resist it, making it difficult for players to be able to avoid it, because once you get past level 15, once you get into that 4th tier of play, because 5e is kind of designed around the 4 tiers of play: 1 through 5, 5 through 10, 10 through 15, 15 through 20. Once you get past that 3rd tier, it gets really, really hard to challenge players because they've got an answer for everything. So basically, just kind of having these ignore resistances and ignore immunities is really the way to go for a caster type. So this is actually pretty bog standard. What's interesting is the passive. The passive is very much a delightful recreation of Magus's mechanics from Chrono Trigger. In the actual boss fight, he is an element shifter. You have to fight him. He shifts his element. You have to guess that element and start wailing on him before he shifts again. Now, in that game, there's only a handful of elements. There's like 4 or 5 total, and it's not hard to really blast them all out at once because everybody has access to magic in that game. In a standard D&D game, that gets a little trickier because not only do we have more elements, but you may not even have someone to cover every element. If you end up in a situation where your wizard just never bothered to take Thunderbolt or, some kind of an electric attack, you could be really in trouble here.
Yeah.
So I feel like it may be up to the DM to kind of play with that D10 roll behind the screen a little bit. Be aware of what your players can and can't do, because this could be a very easy ticket to a TPK if you're not careful. But otherwise, it looks super fun. And once your players figure out that it is an element shifting game, which is a classic staple of JRPG bosses, having them sit there and have to go through all their spell lists and all their abilities, and they're all going to be like, well, I'll use this element and you use that element, trying to figure it out in as few turns as possible while they're getting wailed on. That's going to be a really fun moment. I can see that being really fun. Or really frustrating.
Super Fox says, I can't wait for when they start fighting him and they start wondering why the F they don't do any damage. When they finally get a lucky hit and get hyped, even more confused when the same attack doesn't work twice in a row. The party is made of a school of divination wizard, hexblade warlock, Divine Soul Sorcerer, Twilight Cleric, Circle of Stars Druid, and an Armor Artificer. Dang.
Okay, so you got a lot of magic there. You got a lot of elemental coverage. My only suggestion as DM is whenever you play with a boss that's got weak points, even if it's a temporary, oh, this attack landed and this attack didn't, you need to play that up in your description. You need to make it clear when the attack worked versus when it didn't. Don't let the numbers do the work for you. You get in there with your descriptions.
Yep. Let's see here. We'll get down to the actions here. Scythe of Doom. I love the name. Okay, I'm a name guy. All right, you give me a cool name, I fall in love. Plus 10 to hit. That stinks. Hit reach is 5 feet. One target. Hit is 3d10 plus 5 necrotic damage. Target must succeed a DC 20 Constitution saving throw or have a -2 to attack rolls until the end of next turn.
Okay, yeah, you're going to want to stay as far away from him as possible.
Oh, yeah. Special spell abilities. Magus can cast 1 per turn. Lightning to all enemies in 60 feet. Good lord. Dex save DC 21. 8d10 lightning damage. Half on success. Ice 2. Con save 27. 8d10. Fire 2. Dex save 21. 8d10. And then a Dark Bomb, which is a Wisdom save, DC 21. It does 6d10 necrotic, 6d10 psychic, fail, stunned until the next turn. And
I love that these are just pulled straight from Chrono Trigger. Loving all the references here.
Oh, nice. So you can pick them up. That's great. Grants resistance to all magical damage for 3 turns. Does not require Constitution. Dark Mist. Con save 21, 60, 10 psychic, black hole. Okay. Con save 21, 12d10 force damage. If reduced to 50 HP or lower, target is disintegrated. No effect on success.
Oh. It's literally disintegration, Ray. So gross.
Oh,
that's
man.
rude.
Dark Lord's ultimate attack, Dark Matter, 1 per day, 60-foot radius sphere, 150 feet. Dex save DC 21, 14d10 necrotic, 14d10 psychic. Dead enemies leave shadow echoes. Last 1 minute. Magus has advantage versus enemies within 10 feet of an echo.
So if I may make a recommendation, just because I'm sorry, you'll have to forgive me, guys. I keep jumping in. I'm a huge nerd when it comes to encounter design. When you give your monster a ultimate attack, you always don't just let that be random. You want that to be a set piece. You want to whip that out when your party thinks they're winning. You want to whip that out not when it's most advantageous, but when it's going to be most like shaking. Like back in 4E, there was this really cool mechanic that I like to carry over into 5E every now and then called Bloodied. When you can tell that you've got them on the ropes, when you can tell that they're more than halfway down. And that's when a smart enemy will run or break out their secret move. And that's exactly when you want to break out an ultimate attack. If you're giving your monster some kind of big fancy finisher, that's when it needs to be done.
Yeah. Every time I DM, as soon as I get to the BBEG, I'm just like, now look at everything I can do all at once. And then I get done with it and I'm like, I have no more tricks up my sleeve. Dang it. No, this looks like a really cool character. This is awesome. I really enjoy the references. I'm so glad you picked up on them. I wasn't aware of the Chrono Trigger references. It's awesome. Love the artwork. This is great.
My last recommendation.
Yeah, he would.
Something that you may want to look into. Make sure you understand legendary actions and layer actions, because any big boss fight tends to be 4 versus 1 or 5 versus 1 or 6 versus 1. And the action economy is your enemy. You can even use this against players in situations where they're fighting like a bunch of kobolds or a bunch of goblins. If you're not careful, a bunch of little guys can become very deadly very fast. And if you're fighting, a big BBEG, that action economy is in your player's advantage.
Yeah.
This is why we have legendary actions. This is why we have layer actions. All they do is they serve to break the boss up in the turn order, so it's like there's more than one enemy on the field. If he can only do one thing a turn, even if it's big and nasty, that means your players still have 4 or 5 turns to figure out how to lock him down.
Yeah.
Having legendary actions in between is exactly how you give the boss more presence. Otherwise, your players are just going to do everything they can to hit and then run and stay away when his turn comes around. Look for opportunities to slide in those lightning 2s and darkness 1s because, you know, they need to feel like he's ever present on the battlefield.
Yeah, great. Well, that was awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Super Foxer. I really appreciate it. They sent us another character, but I want to get back to the episode so we can finish that. And maybe if there's time at the end, if everyone's got the energy, we'll pull it up and take a look at it. How you guys feel about that?
Sounds good.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Super Foxer. That was really cool. Yeah, and if there's anyone else viewing that wants to throw in and share a character or get the club's advice on direction of their story or their campaign, feel free to jump into chat and let us know. We love to share our knowledge. So, all right, let's see where we left off.
I'm gonna pick.
Go
ahead.
Timman's clearly trying to like get up the gullet, and friend of mine recommended a jade.
Yeah, we'll circle back, Super Fox, at the end here when we can give it some good attention here.
In fact, leave your drinks there. Follow me.
Whoa.
Marlo.
Whoa. I'll get you another.
Marlo.
Promise.
Luigi.
Let's follow this guy.
He's like going through the motions. He knows what's going on, but he like still has his like.
Sounds good, Super Fox. We'll see you in 5. We'll be going over your character again.
You see him sort of cast something at the table. All of your glasses disappear, and he turns and floats off to a back room. In the back room, are you following? I should say.
Yes.
Okay. As you step through this heavy wooden door, the back room has a very different vibe. You can still hear the raucous cheering and all the energy from the other room through the wall, sort of muffled from a distance, sort of like the bar next door sort of sound. And he takes you down a hallway that is lined with similar doors. You can see one is open, and it seems to be there's a little lounge in there. One of them, you see a very large tiefling standing at the door, and it is actually the same tiefling you saw earlier guarding, or doing the inspections. He's standing at the door in his dark uniform, just sort of looking imperious and guarding the door. Luigi takes you past that and down to...
So at this point, the only one of you that had actually seen that tiefling was Scarrock.
With Valen kind of nudge in the kneecap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Wait a minute.
so none of you recognized him.
None of us knew him.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
You feel that energy between those three?
Here comes the
I feel
energy.
like there's something growing here. Like something new.
Yeah.
You guys don't feel that?
You guys don't feel that?
I don't know. I thought I felt some energy. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just happy to see you guys again. But I thought I was feeling something here.
Maybe an old head told me to wisen up and make friends quick.
Energy's not going anywhere, buddy.
I get that feeling. Hopefully, it'll come down.
Can't lose this energy.
Scarrock
Scarrock
disappears for 5 minutes, and suddenly Valen starts acting real weird.
I painted the picture perfectly.
Everybody needs their foil.
Add something. There seems to be a gravitation about the three of you.
Yes!
That's what I'm
Nate,
saying.
you're gonna like
Luigi.
these
I
characters.
can feel the energy too. It's flowing in this hallway between.
Oh, are
us
you
three
already
here.
looking through 'em?
It's exciting. I haven't
Yeah.
felt this way in a while.
I haven't felt this
You
way in
might
a
want
while.
on the right side of the bed. I figured I'd go
Everything
through it.
on
I've
his
got it
lips.
up on my
For
side
once in a
screen
long
right now.
time, Czar, I've had clarity, which can say it's a lot more than I can say for whatever's going on in your world over there. I've seen the Wandered posters everywhere. So we
Hey,
got
Valan,
some,
mind your own business.
Long
time ago, my name is Bar.
Named so such for his beautiful handlebar mustache.
My name is Bar.
Anyway, before you encourage each other into more talking about really risky business, step in here. He opens the door, and you see the room is cast in sort of a purplish glow. There's a couple of sphere lanterns on the wall, and there's a circular table with a long couch going along the back side, and then a few steps? No, chairs.
I could not find the word chairs for some reason.
It gets tough late in the episode after talking the whole time, you know, like
Alex.
the tongue gets a little tired out, you know, gets a little lazy.
Especially talking to 1.5 speed.
It's so tiring. Slow it down, dude.
But that's the kind of extra effort we put in for our videos.
When you look at this
Yeah,
black
no,
boy,
little
he
secret,
is
we
a
actually
deep
record these
bluish color,
and then have to slow them
marbled
down.
around it, you can see,
Yeah.
and, the center, actually you wouldn't be able to see that as sitting there, but in the center of his mask, you see a glowing ring of a black hole.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Now that you don't see every day.
The funny thing is, I'd almost call him familiar.
Just drops that and then
Sounds
walks.
really good, but I want to check this guy's
Yeah.
energy levels here, see if they're vibing with us.
See if they're vibing with us.
Czar at this
energy
point
levels?
has in fact met Nico before, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Something about him's familiar. I can't put my finger on it.
Would you like to make a history check?
I think I will.
Carry on, Alex.
Do I clock them walk in to the room?
It would be impossible. Go ahead.
I was saying no. Actually, I probably wouldn't be paying attention. to
It'd be
honest with you.
impossible.
Very, very
Okay.
clearly,
Knowing
Alex
what,
didn't listen to my
Kenrick told me to
description.
do. I'm going to be sitting.
It'd be impossible not to miss him. I miss him.
We,
He was just so excited.
yeah,
Yeah.
like we're taking back to the lounge. Oh, I'm at the bar.
You already have your history check.
Just ready to
Oh,
just get Nico
yeah,
out there
I kinda
so fast.
looking around, and when they walk in, be like,
Are there any Bladars there?
Nico?
Did you order the dates of the
Yeah, the Jade Tsunami.
Well, fortuitous.
What you doing here? Classic.
Most fortuitous is
well,
great for
Like
Nico.
I said,
Right?
Most fortuitous. I need to. I meant to
we'll
bring
be
it up
here-
with Alex
we'll
at
be here
work
on this day at this
yesterday.
time and to order a Jade Tsunami.
That needs to be like his
And wait
catchphrase.
for your
Yeah,
emails
like
to
most
say,
fortuitous. Like it's so innocent and like provoking to
What does it have to do with Mert?
move. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there were two alternate titles I was considering.
Yeah.
Genuinely, most fortuitous was the runner up,
I could.
and then third place was hence the mustache.
I could see most fortuitous. That
Don't have, like,
if
like,
we
like,
that might be one in the future because I really want to
Yeah.
see
Is
that
he-
as like
is he
a
touching me?
Yes, he
a
is.
standard like
Okay.
you know
All right, so I'm gonna make an insight check.
Like
just to
that,
go
we could
with
have a
check.
T-shirt of
yeah
9.
most fortuitous when the
just
party
Nico
gets
floating in space and a
TPK'd.
bunch of
I don't know,
debris.
because
Yeah,
I
most
wonder,
fortuitous.
does he fail the check?
If we're talking
Can I do-
T-shirts,
can I do an
we need to
investigation
get
check
like an image
Yeah.
of
What
Czar
are you trying to
of a
investigate?
Thrycreen with a mustache.
His
Yes.
vibes, his
Yes.
energy, you know,
Yes.
Rat
how
I'm
he-
taking
stash.
down notes.
With the rat stash.
Yeah, just the vibe
Yeah.
investigation.
There's like a
Can't
little
forget
rat
Bob
tail coming off.
Marlowe.
And that's an 18. Okay, that's more of what I'd expected of a Len.
Yeah, he's got to be drinking like just a can of Marlowe.
So the insight, you sort of look at the words,
Can.
and you realize,
Yeah, a can.
with his plasma, it's really difficult to get a vibe from something that doesn't have facial expressions.
It's true.
So then you think, I'll touch him. I'll lay hands. I'll lay hands on someone I don't know. And he seems to be figuring you out, Nico. He seems to be
I love how
in
Nico's
on
thought
touching.
is if someone tries to stab you, stab them
Okay,
first. Something he learned from
I flip his hand
Bladar.
and go,
And then he punches someone.
usually happens a little different. But
He doesn't
and
stab
the
them,
logic-
he punches them.
like
Yeah.
mumbling
The
to himself,
logic
he
is
goes,
flawless.
does that count as someone trying to stab you? He goes, And I'm just gonna smack him in the face with the pseudopod because it's just imagining, you know what? It's like Bladar did tell me that if someone tries to stab you, stab them back.
My glasses all crooked.
Slime all over my face. Vibe check, not vibing. I'm gonna take
I
my,
think you insulted him.
well, the vibe
Yo,
check
Nico, that's
is
probably the funniest thing
important.
I've seen all day.
Is important. And I'm
The
gonna
vibe
roll this
check.
Hey,
Goof down.
Czar, what?
The vibe check.
That's Vlad.
Not-
He travels with us.
All right, nice mustache.
Thanks.
Signs, dude.
Hence the mustache.
Brilliant. I love it. It totally
Right?
works. I mean,
Hence the mustache.
which is the direct captain. Czar's.
I miss Nico. Mustaches? Not this one though. I'll be honest. I like
Scare
Skarrock, but I miss
You wanna introduce
Nico.
us to your friend?
Yeah.
Oh, this is Nico. This is
Hi,
we used to hang out back at the Crate and Tackle.
Hi, I'm Nico. We drank at the same establishment.
Another great music
Bladar used to be in your
selection.
crew, wasn't she?
Hmm.
Makes me feel like we're
Yeah.
about to
I was
just
affiliated with Bladar, but we never ran in the same crew.
hit the open prairie, just me and my boys.
What did you do before that? I swear, you're a rather unusual specimen.
And a
I've never
couple of
met someone
Jade
before.
Tsunamis at the
Well,
local
as far
tavern.
as I know,
Exactly.
There was a whole adventure with Bladar, the Minotaur.
I can feel the call to adventure
To go back
building.
a little bit further than that, there was. Oh, that's right. I was on a desk. I remember being on a
Yeah,
desk.
do you feel that energy?
And then.
Yeah. You guys feel that energy?
I'm not
Time
sure.
out. Wait a
There's
minute.
been a lot of stuff. There was a desk. There was some
It's
explosions.
the
and then,
gravity
there was
about
me.
you.
Hey man, I'd like you to make one more history check at advantage.
Gladly. With advantage.
I looked up at the screen to see what the roll was.
Yeah.
I'm so used to
Together,
hearing that noise.
general aesthetic, and then it being on a desk. That's what flicks that switch. That's what triggers that memory for you. Nico, or something that looked like him, was a pet project of Orvis, the man you used to go see or be sent to for repairs when you were working for Cataphract.
There's a detail here
And,
that we don't mention,
On that note, do I know?
and I
do I
hope
recognize
comes up.
Tin Man?
Orvis had quite a few coming through. I'll let you take a history check of your own, but it will be a disadvantage. Correct. Sure. And it was
Like not in this episode, obviously, because we don't.
Your memory wasn't the strongest.
19.
Even with a disadvantage.
That's
impressive.
If there's one thing that Orvis instilled in you, that
Yeah, he's stat padding. He didn't have to roll for the whole episode.
And Tin Man is an autognome that doesn't quite look like many others, despite him allegedly coming from an assembly line. So he does stand out, and you do recognize him.
Is that a hint of jealousy I detect there, Matt?
that look like.
I've actually been, I think, the worst roller.
Suddenly second place.
That equations around your head kind of leading us like.
So was that the tidbit there, Mark?
Are you the autognome?
What's that?
See, you were a little different.
The detail I meant?
Yeah.
I was actually hoping Dayton might pick it up, but
didn't think much past it, other than it just being some kind of news. You are a fully grown thing, aren't you? You got big, boy.
Sorry, I'm getting caught in the episode.
I don't know how, but I did. I'm here, and well.
Tin Man used to tell Nico stories.
You know, what point did you get separated from Orvis?
Oh, okay.
Mark, how much of that do I remember?
See, Dayton, that's what it feels like when the DM dangles a little fruit in front of you for a while and you don't see it, and then they have to spell it out for you, and you're like, oh yeah. See,
yeah, you're right.
That's what
it's not personal at all.
That's what we feel like every time when you give us like a second grader problem, and I'm take 4 episodes to figure it out.
Huge explosion. Then there was everything got stuck together. And this thing
Geek D&D.
Zar, you specifically hear Tin Man kind of whisper himself, quoting what the proprietor of the Rock Rat had said. No coincidences.
Really funny because I was gonna make a coincidence joke when we ran into Nico, but then I decided against it.
Well, and what was this about energy you were talking about?
Oh, energy. That's a state that powers all devices.
Now Mr. Energy wants to ask me about energy. I was just saying, since we went our different ways, when I return, I've noticed an enhanced energy. And I can't quite put my finger on it. Just I can feel it. And I know that doesn't make sense, and it's probably hard to compute the ones and zeros without gut feeling. But I can tell you there's a new energy.
Well, I don't know all about that, but I know that last conversation me and Scarrock had, I was admitting that I never really had much on way of fate or destiny, but I got to admit, things are coming together awfully
fortuitous.
Awfully peculiarly, yeah.
Suspiciously.
Let's take a seat, gentlemen.
Czar in the background.
I could pop a squat here for sure.
And I think that is where we'll call
it. Okay, hang on. So when they do that, we're gonna sit down and have a drink.
I love how every time I try to stop an episode, I let you guys bully me into keeping going.
After a couple minutes.
I love it.
And it's always for just something small too.
Yeah, well, I love it. Like it's almost become a tradition, and it's kind of.
Wait! You don't want to do one more.
Because we all want to keep playing.
Literally, we just want to tell one more little secret story about. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I feel that.
With this iridescent green alcohol in the center. Enjoy your Jade Tsunamis. A toast, maybe, to new acquaintances.
And I'll hold it up.
New and old.
Old friends.
Two old friends.
Ooh.
Wherever Scrap
There's
is.
an ad, Magic the Gathering's doing a Final Fantasy crossover.
Oh, don't get me started.
Oh, goodness.
Oh!
That was awesome.
I like to think the credits.
Mine's giving me medication about arthritis pain.
Everybody else decides not to have theirs, and Zar just
Hey,
Mark,
guys,
what is that telling you?
Say, Mark, you got some arthritis pain?
Give our new partner some support at Eldritch Foundry.
Only in the middle finger.
Get their Eldritch Unlimited account, make all the minis, use
So
our
it's
It's the most
extreme.
important one. You should take better care of that.
All right.
Yeah, you're right.
Everybody, don't forget to wash your dice. And in a couple of weeks, we'll see you in the stars.
Don't forget to appreciate Sar's new mustache.
Yeah.
So one little thing, really quick. Go back.
Yeah.
Just right before the exit, and put it to normal speed.
Wherever Scrock is.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm part of this.
I don't know why I'm part of this.
And I think that's where we'll call it.
So I let it trail out just a little bit for one little sign or one little line.
Zar absolutely slamming this gold.
Hey,
everybody else decides not to have theirs, and Zar just drinks all 4.
Hey guys, everyone tuning in, staying up late with us. Thank you for tuning in. We
Here it
can't do it
comes.
without you. Give our new partner some support at Eldritch Foundry. Go to their website, get their Eldritch Unlimited account, make all the minis, use our coupon code DDC Live. And Mark, take us away, buddy.
All right. Well, Everybody, don't forget to wash your dice, and in a couple of weeks, we'll see you in the stars.
Don't forget to appreciate Czar's new mustache. Don't forget to appreciate Czar's new mustache.
Love that.
And then it fades out. I love it.
Yeah.
That was a great episode, guys. I'm so glad Dayton, you made it here for the review. We got a little more time here. Anybody want to bring up anything about the episode now that it's done? Marina, you were so quiet the whole time. First viewing of it, what'd you think?
She was definitely envious of Czar's mustache.
Yes, aside from that. But I loved the it was surprisingly heartfelt, and I just keeps on catching me whenever I'm watching these with you guys. It's like, oh, it's not just all battling and going crazy. It's just wholesome.
Yeah.
Which I love, and it's just like refreshing to just sit there and just be like, oh, like over here, like just constantly saying that.
Oh, good.
It's just really cute. I love Nico's character. Immediately, I love those little like quips that he pops out of nowhere. It's really adorable. I think it's going to flow really well in the group.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're over here being a bunch of goons, and every now and then it's like, oh, there's emotion there.
Oh, they care.
Well, honestly, I think a lot of us do care about our characters, and have been put a lot of effort into bringing them to life here on the stream. I'm so excited to meet your character, Mark. Are we gonna have the introduction next episode, or are we just gonna see?
The plan is, and I'm gonna be getting the plot or what I'm expecting to do next episode out a little early, so everybody has a chance to plan for it. But yes, we are looking to meet our new party member in this next episode.
Great. Yeah, so it's gonna be another great one. I'm super excited for it. Character introductions are always fun, super important to get right.
Yes.
Roll them out, and I cannot wait for Marina for you to do it. I know it's gonna be amazing. So
yeah, got chills already.
Oh, it's gonna be cool. Anybody else want to add anything? I think Super Fox wants us to take a look at another character here before we get out of here. But does anybody want to talk the episode a little bit more here? Anything stick out?
Honestly, I just think it really came together.
Yeah, I think that we're starting to find a lot of the nuance and the minutia of the characters' interactions and stuff are starting to really come through.
No, I got the link, Super Fox. Give us a second here. And then, I agree. It's
everyone's finding rhythm with each other.
Me and Josh were talking about it, how before the break, we were all in rhythm, doing so well. We took a month and a half break, came back, and it's taken us a few episodes to get it back in here. But we got it here. Okay.
Yeah.
I really felt it.
While you start this, I'll be right back.
Yep.
Gotta use the bathroom.
All right. So we got the hero and the artificer, the future. Oh, wait a minute. The princess and the knight. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. This is Chrono, a legendary hero. Oh, okay. So definitely Chrono's Trigger.
Love the art.
Yep. This is a legendary hero.
Delicious.
Okay. So we're just doing a full on playthrough of Chrono Trigger. I can do it.
Yeah. So we got Chrono here. He's got an armor class 18. What level? I don't know if it says level. That's okay. Armor class 18. Battle ready stance. Hit points 210. He's a beefy boy. Strength 18. Dex 20. Con 20. Intelligence 12. Wisdom 14. Charisma 16. Saving throws. Dex plus 8. Con plus 8. And wisdom plus 5. Cool. Let's get to here we go. Traits. Okay, he has a legendary resistance, 2 a day. If Chrono fails a save if he throw, he can choose to succeed instead. Okay, that's super dope. Flash step. Chrono can take a dash or a disengage action as a bonus action on each of his turns. Swordmaster technique. Chrono's weapon attacks count as magical. His katana deals radiant damage in addition to its base type. Arc of Light. At the start of combat, Chrono unleashes a radiant aura. For 1 minute, his melee attacks deal an additional 1d6 radiant damage. I love that. That's like cinematically very cool. Special techniques. Each costs a number of technique points. Each Chrono starts with a pool of 10, which Chrono starts with a pool of 10 TP, covering 1d4 plus 1 TP at the start of each turn. Cyclone, 2 technique points. Spin in place and strike all enemies within 10 feet. Attack plus 8, hit damage 8 plus 4. Wind Slash, unleash a horizontal wave of energy in 30 feet line, 5 feet wide. Dex save DC 15. Lightning, strike a target with a lightning bolt. We got Cleave. Let's see here. Which ones are? Let me go scroll. Luminaire, radiates divine light in 40 feet radius. Con save. Okay. And then we got Luca the Fire. Well, let's just kind of talk about this character here, and then that's probably where we got to end it for tonight because I gotta log off here soon.
So Chrono here feels like a nice little mix of sort of monk and fighter.
Yeah.
There's sort of this archetype in games and anime and a lot of other media where you sort of have I've heard it referred to back in the olden days as sword wizards. Basically, a warrior with a sword who can do crazy sword stuff like shoot waves out of the blade, things that normal fighters can't do in D&D. Back in earlier editions, they had this concept called a martial adept, which was literally just that. It was sort of a sword martial artist where with your weapon you could basically do magic effects. And that's what this is really reminiscent of.
Yeah.
Like a spell singer, I think.
The modern spell singer is probably the closest thing you're going to get to it. There was a whole book back in the 3.5 days dedicated to these kind of classes. It was the Tome of Martial Adepts, and it was one of my all-time favorites.
Oh. That's 3.5. I actually have all the 3 books for 3.5. Bought them years ago. Never played. I've only played 5. So.
5 is a great entry point for D&D, but if
Yeah.
you want to start getting crunchy and start getting really customizey with your characters, 3.5 and Pathfinder still really sing to this day. Maybe if you still got those books, Matt, we're gonna have to do us a little 3.5 day.
I will be unpacking them here shortly, but I just saw them. So yes. Maybe in the new streaming studio I'm setting up. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
So Super Fox asked us one. Just go scroll to the bottom of this one and look at.
I gotta say, I never put 2 and 2 together of thinking of Luca as an artificer, but I love that.
Wait a minute.
No, keep going.
Keep going.
Okay. No, that's the end. We end with Luca.
Oh, I see what he's pointing out. Go down to the dual text section.
No.
What?
No, go back to the character sheet we're on.
Yeah.
Scroll all the way down.
So
the last page and a half is not Luca or Chrono. It's things they can do together.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
So Chrono Trigger had this mechanic called techs, where each character could do a magic ability, and they had these ideas where if you had 2 turns active at once, you could do a dual tech, or under certain circumstances, a triple tech. I cannot tell you how much I abused Chrono and Frog's cross slash, but that being brought into D&D is something that has never once come across my mind. Let's think about Spelljammer here for a minute. Could you imagine a Valen and a 10-man double gun tech, or Valen and Star doing some kind of could you imagine that?
Yes.
A double tech where you both kind of use your turn at the same time to get some kind of an attack out you normally couldn't do. I've never even thought of putting that into D&D before.
Well, let me read through it here, and then we'll kind of talk about it. Maybe it's something we can adopt. Who knows? All right, so it's called Dual Techniques. How to use. Both Chrono and Luca must be conscious and able to act. Both must spend the required tech points. These count as magical attacks, even for physical components. There's the Fire Whirl, Fire Sword 2. Okay, so Fire Whirl, it's Chrono 2 TPs, Luca 1. They have to do Cyclone and Flamethrower. That's awesome. That's so
So
sweet.
you're using those abilities. So
And making
whatever
a new one.
their TP cost or their action cost, that's what you have to keep in mind.
Yep. And so they're casting these two magic abilities, and they're making a new one out of it, and it comes out as Fire Whirl, which has got a 20-foot radius centered on Chrono, dex save DC 15. Each enemy in range takes 4d6 slashing and 4d6 fire damage, half on save. Chrono spins with fire swirling around him, burning and slicing all nearby foes. That's super sick and like imaginative.
Really cool.
To add the two and then to get the Fire Whirl at the end. It's yeah, I really like this dual technique thing. It's cool to kind of mix and match.
D&D's always been very kind of rigid in the way that it does turns.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to do like team efforts, you know. The best they could do was with the help action. Yeah, my character can come over and kind of pester and draw their attention, and that gives you advantage. Like, that's not cool. That's not cinematic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this kind of addresses it. It's interesting. So then we got Fire Sword here. Chrono has to do cleave. Luca has to do 2. I recommend you show him the triple tech of the one that has really long name in the folder there. But yeah, maybe I'll save a few of these for the next time when we can review them also here. So we got Fire Sword here, which is Chrono Cleave, Luca Fire, and one creature within melee range of Chrono. Attack rolls melee spell attacks by Chrono plus 8. Hit is 3d10 slashing plus 4d6 fire damage. Super Foxy wants us to review the third one so you can see the three technique one.
Sure. Let's check it out now.
Yep, we will after this one. And then you got Fire Sword 2. It gets Chrono
leveled up.
There's a Frenzy, and Luca does a Fire 2. And it does a 66 slashing and 86 fire damage.
Obviously, this is adapting Chrono Trigger's tech point system, so I'm trying to think how I would use this in 5e with spell slots. Yeah. You got me thinking here, Fox. I'm going to be honest. This is a fun thought.
Well, we'll have to workshop some ideas and maybe figure out something here. Okay, so
let's jump over to that third page real quick. Let's see what he's got for a triple tech. I'm curious.
Is that Secret 3?
Mm-hmm.
No. Consider these combinations for level 20 plus. Then it's got the boys, girls night, which are both the 3 girls and the 3 boys, and they all have their triple combo attack.
Here's Luca. Here's Robo.
Love Robo.
Triple technique.
Robo's the boy.
We got triple technique, which is Luca, Robo, and Magus. Omega Flare, which is Luca expends 20 TP flare. Whoa. All 3 must be conscious to be able to attack. Maybe use once per minute.
Okay, so a hard firm set only once per 10 turns.
Yep. All enemies within 100 feet, DC 19 Constitution saving throw. On failure, 8d10 fire, 8d10 necrotic, and 5d10 force damage.
He literally says on the 10, maybe level 20.
Are blinded and silenced. Cannot cast spells and verbal components until the end of their next turn. Whoa.
That's a gnarly.
It is super gnarly.
It's a fun concept, though.
Level 20 really plus, he says.
You know what's another game that did this to a much lesser extent, though? Final Fantasy IX very specifically has a mage character named Vivi and a knight character named Steiner. And they're the only ones that do this entire game. They have a little combo ability where if they're on each other's team, you can make Steiner do a fire sword or an ice sword or a lightning sword. It's a very basic, simple version of this.
Yeah.
And like, I don't see why you can't do that in D&D. Like, there's got to be a way to make that work.
Yeah, we're going to have to workshop some ways. Can you imagine Crippy and Kaz's combo moves? What was that Marvel Ultimate Alliance? Do you remember that game?
Yes, I was just mentioning that.
Remember how you could team people up and you'd get different combos based on who was on your team?
Yup.
Yeah, it's kind of like that idea. Super Foxer says, I was thinking about 10d10 for each, but lowered it to 8d10 because otherwise it would be able to still one-shot people.
Yeah, yeah. Keep it sensible. This is the kind of move that you want to be able to pull off like once in a battle. That's
Yeah.
going to change the tide, but not completely end it. The goal is to change the tide of battle without ending it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's really cool. Thanks for sharing that, Super Fox, and thanks for the follow. That was very thought provoking here. We're gonna have to workshop some ideas on how to maybe combine each other's
team
magical
moves.
attacks.
Let's make some Spelljammer team moves.
Yes,
I'm all for it.
That sounds
already on it.
Awesome.
Mark's already making notes.
Yes. I asked ChatGPT what would be his strat for that trio, and instantly said, "Get rid of Robo."
Cruelness.
He knows. It knows.
Well, Fox, you're just gonna have to watch the stream now and keep an eye out for maybe some dual and triple text now. Thanks.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll call it the Super Fox maneuver.
There you go. There you go. Why do you guys call it that? Oh, no reason.
A legend. That's why. A legend. Anyways, I think we're going to be coming to an end here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. This was a great episode. Dayton, thanks for the fashionably late entrance and the always insightful D&D commentary. I like how
you just tell me to shut up. It's cool.
I like how at the beginning I was like, our DM Mark's here, and another great DM Dayton's here, and you're like, oh, I'm passable. And then Dayton did the explanation of everything.
Conversation.
No, it was great. This was a great episode. I'm so glad everyone could tune in and watch it. If you weren't able to catch it from the beginning, go to our YouTube right now. Check it out. Give us a view. Leave us a comment. Share it with a friend. If you know anyone in your family or friend circle that likes Dungeons and Dragons or role-playing or tabletops, send them our link. We're here being silly, having fun all the time. So come be a part of it. Check out our partners at Eldritch Foundry. Yeah, we got a Discord too. I'll link it here before I get off. But yeah, check out our partners on Eldritch Foundry. Use our coupon code DDC Live for 15% off checkout. Go make a bunch of minis, print them all off. We got a lot of cool projects lined up for them in the future here, and we're all super excited to share them. So again, thanks for tuning in. Much love from me. You guys want to say anything before we get out of here?
Don't forget to wash your dice. And next week, we'll see you in the stars.
See you guys.
Love ya.